Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights from the LCK Spring 2025.
For Canyon, his whole top side is empty.
Carrier hanging around.
Oh, Keen. Have to be a bit careful here, as the knockup does come down. He has Ghost, remember, doesn't actually have the flash. As the flash forward, and Owner is able to pick up first blood. Keen just caught napping a bit in this early game.
Two aggressive plays. That's going to be really kind of what this dragon means for us later on for Gen.G.
Yeah. Okay. That is a lot of damage onto Duro, who is just caught with his pants down a little bit in his own jungle. And T1 grabbed their second kill of the game.
Great plays around the know that it's going to be a three-man party on top of him. Doesn't flash, but dies.
Oh, there's the charm actually connecting as the curtains have been called. Emperor's Divide gets rid of Carrier, but Faker turns up immediately. Orbit Deception comes down, and Chovy is still surviving. He gets the heal, in fact, from that gleaming.
Boots?
Yeah, it doesn't
Not necessary.
It looks like he's building steel caps this time around as Doran going aggressive onto Keen, but Keen does have a friend here, and Doran could now be in trouble. He's looking for some snips onto this Rumble as the Flame Spitter comes down, but now Ona turns up, and that's going to be a very comfy kill from him to answer. Faker getting in here, though, as the teleport from Chovy delivers him, and the Emperor's Divide comes down. That is going to be the Shifting Sands. The flash is the Foxfire enough, and it might just be. No, Faker gets crammed into the wall, and Canyon shuts him down.
Oh, so close to making it work. I was really surprised. That was a sick guard play from Canyon here. And it's Duro who gave him the bodyguard earlier, and now it's Canyon. I watched Wheeler guard Chovy for a long time on Hanwha Life back in the day. We'll even do a ton of damage to this dragon on the take here for Gen.G. Mountain second, looking for a 2-Drake lead, have positional advantage.
See Ruler walking over that switched off ward as Chovy going to get flashed on here by Carrier. The quickness comes down though from Duro, and the two-man on the Impale is so good. Already Owner has gone down, but Faker diving into the backline looking for the angle. Ruler gets over the wall. Can he actually survive is the question as Goomer is chased after him, and now it's a cleanup for T1. Doran is going nuts. Slammed into the wall, and the Flame Spitter finishes him off, but now the man advantage should be there for T1. The Flame Spitter though, Keen, can you get it done? Faker and Gumayushi have the damage, and they'll be able to take him down. T1 win the skirmish.
T1 with a huge win here in this fight.
At the ready as well. Keen doesn't have his, but he is already down here towards this bottom side. The rest of Gen.G need to wait for these solo lanes to collapse in.
Chovy gonna clear this mid wave.
Oh, they were thinking of the turn. You can see Faker wrapping around. Emperor's Divide going to push the cow underneath the turret, but Chovy's in so much trouble. Curtains have been called. 1-2, and he's gone. Pick the juke there. Did Gumayushi, and down goes the Pigeon. And now T1, 5 versus 4, feeling fantastic going into this Drake fight.
Oh man, Chovy feels like in this game he had 9 lives. He kept getting out of every scenario, but not this one, not this time.
Oh, I don't know about fighting for this, but Owner is out of position. He'll be taken down first. But now, is the fight going to be won? Ruler with the flash over the wall, the bullet time. Doran is going to try to interrupt it and just cuts him down where he stands. Keen trying to get in there, and the harpoons are doing some work as Canyon, so durable, gets another crash into the wall. But Duro is not offering any damage back. It is only Keen that's able to do any work, and he is just pushed away. Low health bars on T1, but they juggled the aggro beautifully.
That was such a greedy call to continue to stay there. Catching Owner though, made the headed off with all.
Pesky minion getting in the way.
Don't fight into Guma's fantastic positioning, and also a Gwen offering so much damage. Gwen Jhin synergy seems really high in this game.
Well, Chovy's dead again. He's going to break his arm guard as Emperor's Divide does at least try to get them in position as his Sundisc does a bit of work, but Doran's going to be able to lock down the kill. There was just no way that he was getting out of that one. First, very random selection of shoes as well, everyone with different ones.
Yeah, it's quite a nice variety.
In fact, it's going to be all different ones if it's going to be Berserker's Greaves here for Ruler.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
T1 just going to go for this Otacon. It's a very T1 move. They'll drop their mid turret for this. And, I mean, Chovy's still down for 3 seconds, no TP. I just don't think Gen.G could stop this. They're going to have to just try to get as much as they can in mid lane. They will get that additional turret here.
I mean, 2 turrets is pretty good, but if they manage to take down Keen at the same time, it could be dangerous as he gets under the turret and he's still dead. There was no way out of that one. Carrier is just, he's able to pick a target and kill a target every time.
T1 very happy.
Lean back on. some possibilities. But if the, Carrier. He is going to find Ruler once again. The rest of T1 looking to back him up. Duro playing some defense with the quickness as Ona just finds Canyon but gets impaled, pulled back in as the equalizer says, nope, you shall not pass. The Emperor's Divide onto Doran, but he kind of likes that the gap got closed. Duro trying to get himself out of there. The bullet time will take down the Gwen, and Chovy goes golden just to buy some time. He does fall, but Carrier now flashing the wrong direction and will go down for a triple kill for Ruler. The sidestep from Keen as well. Absolutely fantastic on that charm. As Keen still looking to go further forward. It's a one trade, but the curtains have now been called, and Keen could be in trouble. Another charm going to need to connect, and there it is. Faker locks him down to even this one up.
Yeah, could have been Faker, could have been that last shot there from Goomba, but he was dying. Carry who can slow and then set up Faker in that situation. It's a relatively even trade of kills, but T1 grab a turret after this.
Looks like Gen.G just a little bit late on this rotation. They are going to be able to get on over, but I think walked on a trap, spotted out the ward, and realized that there was...
Faker and Carrier walking at 4 people is enough to get them to back away.
Oh, the cow's so scary. Gets the flash pulverize onto Chovy, who will be eradicated before the fight even starts. It's an impale, but it's only onto 1. The curtains were called. Canyon's going to get headbutted back and snipped down. Bullet time does next to nothing, and Gen.G with 2 on the floor, they'll lose the Baron.
When they have this Gen.G were playing so respectfully. As soon as they see Carrier and Faker together, they backed away, but they didn't back far enough away, and Carrier finds the angle to get the flash onto Chovy. Owner is there for the follow-up, hits level 16 as well. He is so massive. There's the Baron.
Yeah, Carrier going to get slowed down by the red carpet as Dura is making his way over as well. He's going to get towards Soul Point off the back of this one.
Faker TPing back to his teammates here to get in a better spot.
Yeah, Canyon goes in, but he's unable to get the Dragon. Ona going to get quicknessed up, now gets out of there immediately as Chovy finds the Emperor's Divide with 3! It was him that got picked off, but this time he's able to make the big play. Doran cut down where he stands, and Chovy is dead again, but this time he takes 2 with him.
Keen a death cap, and he still hasn't broken his arm guard.
Happy 12th anniversary, Faker. You're doing pretty well. As, okay, never mind. Crash into the wall onto Ona, and I don't think that Crescent Guard is going to be saving him. Chovy in a little bit of trouble here as Faker looks for the charm angle. He'll be able to get 2 off the back end, and Ruler is going to be his next target. He's dashing forever with all of these resets, and Gumyushi's flashing forward. T1 are going to take this game off the back of the GOAT. Happy 12th, my friend. I was a little early on it before, but my God, this Ari performance is absurd.
The greatest of all time on his 12th anniversary. Faker is timeless, Atlas, and doesn't matter what year it is, he's still got the hands, he's still got the follow-up, and he and T1 are going to take this first game.
And I need to now remind everyone as Keen goes down underneath these Nexus turrets that this is game 1 of a regular season best of 3. So it feels like the stakes are way higher than they are because it's Gen.G versus T1. They often are quite that high as there goes the Nexus and T1.
I think the bigger value is what it does for objective fights. The Keeper's Verdict is going to be super strong here when T1 can already out-rotate you on the map pretty easily. The
natural lane leads, it is Gen.G in a better position, largely to do with the Gnar on the top side, being able to farm very effectively. This bottom lane's also having a decent time as Ruler Arcane shifting forward is dangerous. Duro actually going to pay for it though as Gumyushi is the one that goes low and first blood goes to the Nautilus. Carrier doesn't have flash. He's likely to go down as well, wanting to take Ruler with him, but he holds the barrier and despite the Q he stays alive.
A little bit of a... As we'll go back to this play, this W here connecting is so much damage, and then Ezreal's able to get out, and then they target the Nautilus, interestingly, so he's just tanky enough that allows Ezreal to do so much more damage. And then here, like you said, there's no flash for Carrier. He doesn't have enough damage. Looks for this play, gets the barrier
really
at least.
Set the tone for how this game is going to look as Doran is still here on this top side. Ruler gets a ward in as he's looking to actually put the pressure on his Carrier, shows his position. Remember, the Arcane Shift has already happened, but he still has flash. The flash forward from Doran is going to be answered, and Ruler just puts him down!
Oh man, Ruler is ready to have him.
Although he's very, very close to level 5. As Canyon does hit that level 6 mark, and the Dragon will be going over to Ona, no worries. Of course, this is a composition that does really want to hit level 6 on the side of T1. So, but True Shot Barrage now going to get flashed here by Carrier. Steadfast Presence as Duro's going to have to flash. Man, he would have died if he had taken that last turret shot. Pretty lucky there. And take him down. understanding that there is not a lot of vision here for T1. Duskbringer, there's the flash in though, as Canyon's committed, but ulti comes through from Chovy. They get the knock up onto Carrier, but he's pretty tanky as this Poppy, and the rest of Gen.G just going to back away. Good defensive play there.
What that solo is going to be, it's too valuable. Solo elemental Drakes. And both of our global mid laners come
Whoa,
out.
there's a flash forward from Carrier, but doesn't get the stun. There's the paranoia. They decide to go on top of Duro first, as the Realm Warp is going to deliver Faker to the mid lane. And Chovy holds the ultimate.
And let the dragon go. Not going to commit any further. I think Carrier thought perhaps he had an angle there. Gets them feats of strength. Is going to get them that turret eventually. And if T1 make a play to try to punish, you're already there to catch them and then take the objective. If they don't go, then you win anyways. And Chovy just holds bottom as long as he can.
Oh, Fury going to get caught out here as Canyon trying to go untargetable to keep himself alive, but it's getting so difficult. He flashes, he gets over the wall, but the Realm Warp from Faker is not actually going to...
It looks like he's not going to show up at all. They're just going to simply give this one up.
Yep. So that's going to be a second Drake going over to
do it, but they have a lot of members here.
Yeah, and with Ruler able to take these pot shots, get that extra damage with his Sheen. That is going to be the outer turret in the mid lane going down. First turret for Gen.G as well to help extend that gold advantage ever further.
Ooh.
Second charge with the last Skerrick of health. As Faker going to get knocked up. He's in turret range there as well, as he wants to just take down the turret. There it goes. That's what he was looking for.
That was scary.
Oh, okay, over the wall goes Canyon, looking for a little bit of a biffo against Doran here, but Doran's able to get himself out. 2v2 is now set up here as well.
They may, it looked like for a moment, they were going to look for a dive down that bottom side, as Faker is playing with his range advantage very flirtatiously here.
Yeah, getting a little bit scared or worried, but the
I think they
turret is still there.
Dive this, to be honest. I mean, with Ezreal here,
well, Keen does have a Mega Gnar on the way, but they decide instead of diving, they'll just take the free money.
Yeah, if they leave, then we'll just take the money.
Speaking of can't see, they don't exactly know where Faker is just yet. He's going to be moving up this mid lane, as we can see, and Chovy is not in heroic entrance range, but still 3.5k is nothing to really worry about just yet.
Ooh, Faker might put himself too far forward here.
Yeah, Duro's going to show up, and Keen was already in position. There's the knockup from the depth charge, and this Rise is not going anywhere. Tries to Realm Warp, but that is not happening. And Gen.G going to use this as an opportunity to head towards this Otacon.
Good, but he's still pushed away. But this buys time. Faker has teleport when he respawns here.
Oh dear, Carrier might be in trouble. He gets smoked by Canyon as Keen wants to hop over that wall, finds the boomerang, and I think that Canyon has the damage. True Shot Barrage comes down, but there's the paranoia to try and save, but also kill as they get on top of Ruler. Ruler is dead to start this off. Doran's flashing away to try and get to safety. Faker is still dead, which is so lucky for Gen.G, because otherwise they could have lost the Otacon, and somehow that anchor lands. Doran just trying to survive. He can dash for, you know, about 1 billion miles, but is that enough is the question, as Canyon should have enough damage to take him down, and there it is.
Faker hits 16. Could have teleported in if he was up 5 seconds earlier, maybe to try.
As Gen.G just control this area completely, no way for T1 to get in. They're going to give it up. They do see it go down, but there's no way that they can actually change the outcome.
If Carrier had ult, maybe.
Oh, Realm Warp, an opportunity here is once again. It's Ruler in trouble, and he'll just get obliterated. This time, Gen.G in an awkward spot at the same time. Heroic entrance, and Duro is still dead. A double knockup, but Chovy's just giving himself up. Owner down low, but they take down the Gargoyle, and T1 say you can take the Dragon. I think it's time for Baron.
Okay, they're going to look for this turret as well. A little bit greedy, not quite able to get it, and some extra damage does go on to Carrier. Owner fairly low here, and of course doesn't have his ultimate, but they're going to start this up just the same. Ruler is up in 20. Chovy's so long away from respawning that there's no way he's going to be able to TP, and they just need to have a little bit of defense against Canyon.
Yeah, Keeper's Verdict is going to miss, as now let's see whether they can actually hold on to this. It's so dangerous. Mega Gnar is almost there for Keen. He does get it, but it does not do enough. Canyon gets into the pit, goes untargetable, picks up one, but that is it, and T1 will take the Baron.
Traditional T1 Baron, it's a little risky, but they had the numbers, they had the intent, and get right on top of him, and now T1 turned this into Otacon, and they are feeling very good about their chances.
Take down this empowered siege minion that's really being frustrating. Winds of War not nearly enough to take that down, and Doran, as we were talking about, just gets to work.
T1 sieging, Having Owner on this flank.
Oh, another moment for Ruler, unfortunately, in that mid lane. He's just taken out Keen. Soaks up a lot. We don't really have the withdraws coming in just yet, as I don't know about that one, but still, they dive in. It's a great hook to try and answer, and the Justice Punch is there, the three-man taunt from Chovy, but remember, he's just picking up little bits of 200 gold from T1, who are now breaking open the Gen.G base. Look at that Rebel Baron power play just explode. 5,300 is the number, as Keen, nothing he can do. Doran dashing around, he can go home if he'd like to. Faker in here as well as Canyon, wanting to try and take him down, but the damage has been done, ladies and gentlemen. Happy 12 Faker, 3-1 and 5. He was the only gold lead, and now
targetable early. Duro has to flash out, and here comes that cross of the members who are in the mid lane just moments before getting that other pick. And Chovy, he does work, but it's not enough, and this might be the beginning of the end of the game.
Wow, this is the first team fight the Ruler's actually been able to play. He does manage to send someone home. Keeper's Verdict gonna get charged up here by Carrier, but does instead decide to cancel it. Okay, I was pretty happy to see Ruler. We need him to stand near everyone at the same time so that this Nocturne cannot just press R.
It's a valuable ward there for Keen and Ruler.
Oh, Dredgeline going a little bit wide there as Carrier gets in another time, but this time Ruler's able to get out of the way of the public execution. Can he get the damage down? The taunt is fantastic, but Gumayusi gets on top of him. They take down the Nocturne first, so it's Gen.G finding the team fight. Keen gets in, wallops Gumayusi, who cannot get the DPS, and now he's the only man standing. Gen.G find an angle and fight back.
What a beautiful fight from Gen.G, and it's Carrier who starts it off with a knock-up there. Then they look for the follow-up CC. Base in tatters here for Gen.G, but they pick up the soul off of this and will return home to defend.
And perhaps that's something worth looking into, but as we can see here, under 2,000 gold, now the lead once again is Owner, possibly caught out. He's got a GA, but he doesn't want to lose that cooldown. True Shot Barrage coming in as Canyon dives on top. They used the Paranoia as well, but now Carrier looking for an angle. Chovy finds the taunt, but only onto one as Doran gets into that backline on top of Ruler. But now he's got friends, now he has backup, and even though Canyon falls down, the carries are left alive. And Ruler gets the last laugh in this one.
Canyon getting on top of the backline there, on top of Faker and Guma. They couldn't actually offer any damage. Turn on this during the GA is just not possible with a Galio coming on top of these members. You see Carrier so desperately wants this. Chovy just comes in, they taunt him. Doran is a little bit late to come through here. Gets guard, so he can make a lot of plays here. Keen, Wit's End, also makes them very difficult to kill.
Gen.G has. If they keep them here for long enough, then they will have so much control over the Elder Drake. They're obviously looking pretty far forward here as the Fear Tether is going to line up onto Duro as underneath the turret they go. Doran is so incredibly low and still ticking down from that bleed, and that is going to be the turret falling. Keen now trying to get himself out of there. Look at that huge shield that he picks up with Hysterics. That's now on cooldown, and he's got the Mountain Soul as well, of course. Inhibitor goes down, just war of attrition here being won by Gen.G. They transition it immediately into this turret. Doran doesn't find the public execution, and True Shot Barrage is going to do so much work. Keen diving on in. I don't know about that one. Heroic Entrance, though, gets Chovy right on top, and they've tried to split up this fight, and Ruler is untouched in the backline. Faker goes golden, but is he going to survive for long enough? He flashes to get a kill onto a Nautilus, but that is not going to change the fates of T1 here. They're looking to try and end it right now, but Carrier says no. He's just getting them out of there. Chovy goes golden. Carrier is likely to die, but Canyon is so incredibly low, and it's in fact Chovy that falls down. These Mystic shots are so dangerous. Gumayusi and Doran both falling to the hands of Ruler, who only has a Nexus turret in his way before game number 3.
Yep. Ruler says, sorry to keep you waiting. I'm back, and you thought you could defend. You thought that was the end of it. Certainly not. Oh, the shot!
Oh, there it is. Gets the snipe onto Carrier.
Now, the base survives. Guarantees he's up, and they can actually fight one more time here on Elder. Huge smite there from Ruler as well.
Spot out that Gen.G's doing it. Gen.G wanting to catch them, not wanting to go for any sort of burger flip here, as you can understand. As Doran looks for Chovy, they kept this one leashed. Paranoia comes in, and they dive in. Owner gets there towards the dragon, but Chovy is right there waiting for him. It's Duro that takes down Gumayusi to start this off, and Keen wasn't even here. Ruler takes out but the Poppy and the Elder goes down. Faker gonna get eaten by a dragon, and Gen.G, of course they are. They're gonna bring us to a Game 3 in this absolutely ludicrous first series between Gen.G and T1 of LCK 2025.
What a banger this series has come to be. We've got one more in the tank. Gen.G, they had great control from the beginning, a massive lead from Ruler, but they had to fight their way back after T1 wrestled control away from them. Such resilience in challengers. In fact, I think it was he who did it when we had that big meme where I just...
Yeah, I think he was actually Duck Crank.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to do together.
Yeah, and even though they can't break and then topple Duro, they certainly can push him in.
Yeah. As it turns out, Duro's aggro range just isn't that large, and you can just kind of walk around and everything's fine.
Oh!
Hook is going to connect! And the Blade Caller comes on through. Gumayusi staying alive. The flash comes out, but he's in the alcove, and then he's dead. Carrier trying to play Gatekeeper, and Ona's moved on over as well. Duro going to be able to get the knock up there, and it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade, but I think Gen.G are okay with how this one has eventuated. Gives him the good old thumbs up, and finally does take down the Xayah.
Yeah, so that's the hook you're looking for. That's the one. All it takes is one. You get that angle.
We'll be able to reform the Phalanx.
Wild flash there from Carrier going in. Doesn't get anything for it, as we are just going to reset here a little bit. Double stun is pretty big.
Yeah, you can see Ona here as well under a little bit of fire as Gumayusi fighting Ruler. Guma wanting to get a few of these autos, but Ruler gets into the fog of war. Duro is in so much trouble. Knockup does come in as Canyon. There's a lot of bad guys here. Ruler trying to offer the damage back. Ona is in trouble, but he's calculated it, and he will survive. A disaster for Gen.G around the grubs.
Yeah, it looked so good for them to start it off, but this comp is so squishy. And Canyon now for T1 plus that grub advantage.
Yeah.
Well, actually, they didn't secure any afterwards, so I take it back.
Okay, well, Chovy is going to throw down the gravity field, and Faker going to get caught up by that, and the hook comes in once again. 2 turret shots onto Carrier. Chaos Storm means that Duro actually picks it up with the last tick of Ignite, and he's going to get flung back with
that one hook that he had really helped stave off that Caitlyn pressure quite substantially. Keen here is Cassante.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if this will be successful.
I think he has the all-out as well, and he's going to use it. Brings Doran underneath the turret, and there's the Glacial Prison. It was all a bait, ladies and gentlemen. And Doran even grabs himself the kill. Teleport
over
here.
The top lane, going to the mid lane as well. Duro wants an angle on Faker here.
All right, well, Duro is just going to light him on fire. Lands the hook there. Bowling Ball is going to connect. Seismic shove to buy some space, but Faker's getting sleepy. It's getting late in the day, and Chovy burns him down with the Death Ray. That should now be an angle on the Dragon if they'd like it, but the bottom lane for T1 is pushed really far up as this cannon minion finally will be taken down. Keen unable to get that one.
It will be T1's as there's no answer from Gen.G whatsoever as more and more gold goes over.
And it's so likely that T1 just pick up feats of strength as well. He is just able to walk himself back. It is going to still spell the end of his turret, and Doran will be able to get so much extra gold here. You can see 1.5k and feats of strength, my god.
Yeah, natural prio that a Caitlyn gets in bottom or mid or in top if she's lane swapped up there. They're just saying, okay, Caitlyn's fine, she'll start to narrowly stack up these advantages.
And now the Rift Herald just going down, slowly but surely here. Canyon in position to try and contest. Seismic shove going wide. And that gives Canyon an opportunity to go in. Information advantage here for Gen.G, as it is going to be Ona with the smite. An early one there, unfortunately, for Canyon, as Ona has to flash to get out of the way. Keen tanks up the seismic shove nicely, and he is not going to be able to re-engage as they get some information. But out they go. Carrier looks for the Tempered Fate, does lock down Keen. Oh, Doran actually the first one to fall in the fight. Keen eventually falls down as they trade top laners, but Ona is going to be safe. And it's a 1-for-1.
Grouping to Dragon now with the Prio. They just have Prio seemingly everywhere where they need it, especially. And it's this Jax, this Caitlyn, that gives them first rotation. And that's going to be the second Dragon. We'll see what soul we get. Maybe your Cloud this time. Nope, that's already a first one, so.
Yeah, I think Doran is where a lot of the T1 chips are in. As Keen standing on top of a ward. That is not what he wants, as he should be able to absorb some of this CC, but not able to absorb all of it. Eventually has to flash. and will use it to get out of there. But the rest of T1 now grouped up. They've got a minion wave and they've got an inner turret, and they have 4 people looking to try and take this one down. Canyon spinning. Duro's getting on in here as the Tempered Fate will lock down 2, but the tower is not one of them. Now Canyon trying to spin around here, looking for the Lilting Lullaby as Doran will melt. And now Faker and Ruler facing off. It's like a tale as old as time, but this time Gumyushi going to be there with the ace in the hole. That is going to spell a disengage there from Ruler.
Yeah, Faker versus Ruler in the mid lane.
Another
always,
flash. Duro
always
is activating, man. Activating Hex Splash.
He is. Faker versus Ruler in mid lane is always a classic. Been some big moments across the years, especially at Worlds, but we're still in first match of regular season. The trade here will be Gen.G, get Chovy to push and take out this turret. This is where the team fighting can actually start to work, in theory.
Yeah. Ooh, bowling ball. Barely going to miss on a Faker, but does land on the Gumyushi there, as we can see. I think they're wanting to get in position. They're going to look for a fight. They're looking for Chovy, but Keen lands the Q. There's the hook, the 1-2-3 punch onto Faker, and it's Ruler that takes him down. The Chaos Storm now doing work as Chovy. He got out of there with a flash, but now he's getting back in. And Doran just trying to play this one defensively. Gen.G finally winning a fight and getting an objective.
Really important fight here for Gen.G, and they finally got to take it on their terms.
Ooh, nice little Glacial Prison there from Ona, but unfortunately not a lot of follow-up.
Yeah, it's pretty tanky Cassante. They're going to turn this into a turret as well. Carry-out nearly caught by that hook from should be able to defend.
The topside vision here for T1 is absurd.
It's pretty crazy, and they're not utilizing it to start an objective just yet, although, as I say, if Faker goes in.
Yeah, there's a brilliant Tempered Fate there on to Chovy. And Ona has engaged, but I don't know whether they really want this because Keen looking for an angle. Doran is teleported in, but he might get Sleepy pushed back towards the Baron Pit. There's the all-out from Keen. Wanted to get him over the wall, but now he's 1v2, and the other 4 are looking for the rest of T1. Doran likely the first one to go down, but Keen is getting lower and lower, and it's Gumyushi there to defend his top laner. Chovy, I don't know about that one, really wanted to kill his ex-top lane player. But no one
could attempt to steal as they don't know that he's there. He has that control ward too.
Yeah, Weaver's all going to come in. Yeah, Carrier is the one that checks. As Ruler, Featherstorm is going to break that one. He looks for Faker, but he doesn't get it. The Seismic Shot going to connect, but Faker is still going to be dead. There goes the Talia to start this one off. Duro finds the hook onto Ona. That's going to force the flash, and now Chovy comes in with the follow-up damage, and one after the other, the T1 players are falling. Ruler gets in there with those feathers. And the Baron should be next on the menu.
That might have been the game-winning moment there for Gen.G. Game will surely be lost if they take both objectives. They feel priced into the play. This is moments, of course, before where Canyon's able to actually buffer this. The Tempered Fate catches him here off of this, and that might be enough to really push them over the edge and win this game. They're taking the Otacon as we speak. T1 are.
Yeah, T1 have actually got on top of this. The Drake was picked up by Gen.G, but Gen.G also get into position to try and fight for the Otacon. Remember, this is not voracious. You don't just get the withdrawals as the Tempered Fate goes wide. So does the Glacial Prison. Chovy still not, Canyon not able to get the smite. And he also has to flash out of the way. So T1, they're the ones that get the buff, but unfortunately they don't.
Is it going to be the biggest? As you can see, Gen.G are the ones who have all the blood pedal stacks here. The secure of the objective, not as important with this one as it is with the voracious, but still.
And also, I actually misspoke. I thought, like, when I looked up to the top of the screen, I saw, like, there's an Infernal Dragon that was taken. That was the one that was taken earlier.
Yeah.
Gen.G just took the Baron and then went home.
Yeah.
And T1 booked it to the Otacon to try and take that one. So
that was
still a bunch of fight left in this team.
It's really risky to go straight from Baron into Fantastic time. But Gen.G, with this play, they push Faker away. That's a lot of the wave clear gone. That TP, there's the voice.
Oh my god, look at how quickly this Baron goes down. Owner is trying to get into position. They have the Weaver's Wall. T1 know exactly what's going on as the Tempered Fate is going to delay the fight for a little while. Down to 3,000. Owner gets into the pit though, and Gen.G need to go down to 3, and it's Carrier that takes the Baron. What the actual hell? But Gen.G is still looking to win the fight. Keen finds the knockback, and Ruler is starting to layer these kills. But it's Gumyushi trying to kite, and he gets death rayed by Chovy. Ruler left alive, but so is the Goad, and Keen. He cannot kill him, and he'll let him slink off into the fog of war. The teleport to get Faker out as he denies the Baron, but he won't be able to deny the Dragon.
Yeah, he'll have some Baron-empowered minions to help slow this siege here. Ruler just has this one cannon minion, but look at how quickly he can take out this turret. Once it's gone, he should be able to then take out the inhibitor. Faker going to get some health back and maybe come over here and try to contest, but I just don't think it's worth it. Too risky to win the 1v1 against a 4-item Xayah. Down he goes. and it goes to Carrier, but unfortunately Owner is on the wrong side of the fight after this, does get picked off, and Ruler is going to be able to help carry with Toby.
Putting their cards towards this dragon, which will go down so extremely fast. I like that Ruler changed position there as they think that they've caught Canyon, but the follow-up is just not there. Faker.
Good Mikhails.
Yeah, gonna get Mikhails so that he doesn't fall asleep, but Owner is gonna get slowed down. Chovy on a flank angle, the flanking Victor, and they look like they've caught Gumayusi. The Chaos Storm goes down as they take the magical journey to get them to safety.
Crazy
and now, a teleport from Doran, who dives in on top of Chovy, does keep himself alive. The Tempered Fate to save the top laner, and it's all just, please, can we disengage on both sides? And they will agree to terms.
So many.
So dangerous, but the Lilting Lullaby still with a few seconds left before that comes off cooldown.
Doran on a flank again.
Yeah. Keen, not really a target that he's looking for, but Ruler is right up there, actually looking for Owner. The amount of damage these feathers do is absurd, as Chovy as well, just pushing them back.
It's Baron time. They're just going to rush over and try to take this out.
Yeah.
T1 are going to trade it for Infernal Soul, but their base is the one that's open.
And it's Soul Point, it's not even Soul, so the Baron, so much more important here for Gen.G at this point in time.
Absolutely.
They will be able to take this
Try
one.
to back away, try to play this one out for the next objective. But surviving this is going to be a little bit more difficult. Last time they didn't have the seeds, but this time Mikhail's used there to guarantee there's no follow-up there on Aguma. They're going to clear this wave again, but Chovy's got this inhibitor on his mind. It's open, and down it goes.
Yep, that is the inhibitor.
And, I mean, now Gen.G still have a little bit of Baron left.
30 seconds.
They could try to collapse here onto T1 on that bottom turret as well. Something's going to have to give here.
Yeah, and Gen.G, they know that they have the advantage as they can push these minions in.
T1 may have to just find an engage. They may have to find an angle, otherwise it's going to get worn out of this game.
Yeah, that is just going to be the turret falling down, though. T1 realizing that they're going to have to defend under their Nexus turrets if they're going to do so.
Get on top of them.
And T1 can't really find an angle there. Finally, the Weaver's Wall comes in again, but it is used just defensively as the Glacial Prison flies out once more, but
Baron's
it's not
done.
used to engage.
Baron's done. Minions are running out.
Oh, the hook barely going wide there as Thorin goes in, but he's just going to explode. Goes golden, but I don't know whether it's going to be enough. Tempered Fate there to start that one off, but he gets the leap strike out and he survives.
The turrets are still pretty healthy here. Does Gen.G have to wait for this wave of super minions?
Another turret going to fall down. 3 inhibitors will be taken by Gen.G. And T1, they're going to have to hard commit on something.
T1 out this bottom wave.
Quadra Infernal Soul has now been picked up by Gen.G.
I just don't think they can backdoor or anything like that.
Oh, the hook is going to connect onto Owner. Keen going to push him back, but now Faker gets in there. They know that they have to commit to something as Chovy is also taken relatively low. The Chaos Storm in answer, though. And Canyon and Ruler, they're staying on the Baron.
Staying on the Baron. T1 can't get there quickly enough. It's just gone.
Yep, just taken. And Gen.G, they sacrifice half the health bar on Chovy. Still has flashes. Canyon's looking for an angle. Oh, Gumayusi could. On Keen. Another hook is going to go wide this time. As inhibitors, all of them now on the floor. And oh my God, Gumayusi. That headshot is exactly that. Is now Keen. He's down low. The 3-man Tempered Fate. This might be the angle that they're looking for. The Featherstorm now on cooldown. But Gen.G, as long as they can too much.
Okay. Teleport coming through here from Keen. They're looking to take out this mid inhibitor. Make it happen. Tempered Fate, 1 second. It's back up. What do you got, Carrier? Where's the angle?
Oh, another hook this time. Going to get sidestepped by Owner beautifully. Tempered Fate connects. It's only onto Canyon this time around. Seismic shove, and Duro is already dead. Canyon goes down as well. T1, this might be the opportunity. This might be the angle, but Keen is a raid boss. Another double shove onto Chovy and Ruler. They are able to walk their way out. Still, it's Keen that's on the floor. And now T1, if you kill these two, they are just dead. Chovy, the one that could tank and teleport to get Faker in there. And Ruler, he's got a Featherstorm, but he does not have his life. Owner goes down, Chovy against the wall, and he gets 2.
That's massive that Chovy's able to get those 2. There's so many standing structures up for Gen.G.
I mean, Faker and the death
moves! Chovy gets him! Chovy, you psychopath! He's got TP, but he's not going to be able to use it here. He's just going to go home.
Oh my God!
Wait, no, he's actually going to get TP in. He actually goes home and TP's in. Faker, not fast enough to get back.
He's got an army of minions. He has an army of minions and 1 Nexus turret between him and a regular season Game 3 victory against T1.
How good's the wave clear now? Alone against Chovy. Not good enough, Atlas.
The seismic shove is going to go wide. These Nexus turrets go down so quickly. Chovy is going to do it in the most heart-wrenching 3rd game of any regular season of all time. And Gen.G will do it.
Chovy with the plays there at the end. If he doesn't get those kills,